What is up, Decentraland? How's everyone doing? Um, I'm doing fantastic. No complaints. Well, I always have complaints, but nobody really listens because the market cap is still pretty crappy. Fix it. Make it work. But anyway, moving forward, I just wanted to make a quick recap about the whole consensus thing. I was there last week. I didn't really make any kind of like video updates to notify anyone. What I thought about it. What my experiences were, my takeaways were, um, and some of the experiences that I had. Really, some of the individuals that I met. Which was something that I also wanted to speak about. But I did go ahead and tweet about it, and I did go ahead and make a few status updates on Facebook about it. Which was kind of cool. Most importantly, I was in New York for 3 days and I didn't get arrested. So that was kind of cool. You know, they kind of looked at there were too many people there to identify me, so there was no facial recognition. But hey, it is what it is. I'm just joking. But anyway, the consensus, it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. It was a great experience. I did kind of hear like a lot of mixed reviews about it. Blah blah blah, not coordinated, whatnot. I like you give two shits about that. I left the entertainment world a long time ago. From a coordination perspective, I've been an entertainer for a long, long time now. Um, so I could give two shits about the whole coordination about it. The turnout was absolutely fantastic. 350% increase since last year. Of course, the market cap didn't recoup the way that we expected it to, but I expected it to bump up a little bit. After consensus, but then I really didn't really expect it to go the way that it did. Although I was kind of anxious to see what it was gonna do because hey, everyone was expecting it. So if everyone's expecting something to happen, it's gonna be the total opposite. Everyone knows that. And specifically, like by the time that I'm coming around to making videos about it, and it's just like, all right, well, you know what, that just never pans out. It's like, oh no, Hamlet is here. All right, you know what? No, do the complete opposite, opposite. Make it drop. And hey, that's what happened. But hey, no complaints. If you've been in the game for a long time and you've been following me or we've talked, or we've known each other for a long time. I've been in the game for a long time, and you're still maintaining, you're still holding strong. As strong as January? No, not at all. But you're in the positive. So you can't really complain about that, and you've made it this far, so you're doing pretty decent. Um, but for the most part, my takeaways, I did get to meet some great individuals. I did get to see me Constantine from Changely. Had a great non-biased conversation with him. I utilize that product whenever I can. That's my primary spot to go to when I'm trying to convert Bitcoin for Ethereum or any one of the other tokens, as opposed to kind of like jumping three loops. Some of the tokens that are on there only allows you to jump two. Meaning, you want to convert Bitcoin for Ethereum, you can do it. And any other traditional exchanges that you go to, you would have to take that Bitcoin, sell it, or I'm sorry, take that Ethereum, for example. You want to convert that to Bitcoin, you would have to take that Ethereum, then you have to sell it. Or if you want to take Litecoin, you would have to sell it. But it allows you for multiple hoops, or multiple jumps rather, other than those three denominations. So say if you want to trade Bitcoin for Deutsche, or Deutsche for Ethereum or Litecoin or whatever it might be, then it gives you a little bit more flexibility, in that sense where you can't really do say trading in some platforms for Litecoin to Ethereum, for example. In Changely you can. So yeah, my opinion hasn't changed about that. It's my primary spot to go to. For doing any of those kind of conversions when I specifically need it. So I mean that was kind of cool. I was just outside having a cigarette, and this guy wearing a Changely T-shirt walks up and says, "Hey, do you mind if I have one?" Like, no problem, bro. Here you go. And of course, I always have to explain that I roll my own cigarettes because my cigarettes are at the tip. They're all kind of like crimply and like weird looking. Like I just got them rolling a joint or something. And so I'm like, oh, by the way, I roll my own cigarettes, and that's why they were looking like that. But anyhow, but it was kind of cool meeting him. That was pretty decent. Nice dude. Before all the cameramen, all these other individuals, walked aboard and started interviewing him, asking him questions. And that's when I realized that who I'm actually speaking with. And I'm like, oh wow, dude, that's pretty cool. Like, awesome, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for the insight. Thank you for the opinions. Thank you for the conversation. You were a nice dude to me. I appreciate that. I did get a chance to meet with, the CEO of Rivets, which was kind of cool. Just sat down, had a conversation. Let my boy kind of do the interview. I just kind of fell back, let him do it, and it was his glory time. I did get a chance to meet with the CEO of Pillar, David Siegel. Pillar was the primary reason why I was there. I hold approximately about 30 tokens, 32 tokens now, somewhere around there, and most of the times, I might get a few, or I might get like a giant bulk of them, but it's, hey, it's also a great conversation starter, and I can't really give you guys any insights about it myself if I don't hold them or kind of like look at it to see how they work or, operate and all that other stuff. But yeah, like I said, I was only there for one, meetup, and I was gonna come back the same night, and then I realized a couple of other individuals or acquaintances that I know were gonna be there, and other personalities. So I figured it'd be a great time to kind of like network, meet a lot of people, and probably the best decision I made. I ended up meeting individuals from all over the United States, all over the world, really. Befriended a lot of them. We exchanged phone numbers. We still talk, which is kind of cool. Few of them, a few of you still curse at me, but hey, it's all good. Fuck you too. You know, thank you for the great conversations, the insights, the feedback. I love it, dig it, and welcome to my life. But moving forward, I did get a chance to meet with that team. We did go out to dinner afterwards, and unfortunately, it didn't end right. But hey, it happens. I'm over it, so I hope you guys are too. Other than that, there was a lot of questions about the coordination. I from all the years of event coordinations that I've done, nothing ever goes 100% smoothly, etc. At the end of the day, you're relying on people, and maybe that's why we're in technology, right, to avoid percent error, maybe. But hey, it is what it is. From a coordination perspective, I think the staff did absolutely fantastic. They were always there, ready to rock and roll, always ready to help. No complaints on that front either. And again, everyone expected the market cap to rebound, massively like it did, for the last few years, and I think that's probably why it didn't. And hey, no complaints. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So some of the tokens that we have discussed in the past, you're holding on to them, and you made some of the moves. Then you should still be in a rather decent situation at the moment. Unlike some individuals that unfortunately got into other coins that went down massively. Like I said, I've always advised that diversification is probably your best bet in this environment. Diversify, diversify, diversify. Do not just get stuck on one coin. It is very, very, very dangerous. Considering that, we have had damn near 1,000% decreases since January, let alone, what the future holds. And now, the way that the market is looking, I don't see it recovering anytime soon. I don't really see it recovering until sometime around Christmas. I did have big hopes myself for June, but unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way because everyone expected it. So with that being said, hold tight, hold right. You'll be fine, and still maintain what you do. It's the only way. So other than that, yeah, like I said, I just wanted to make a quick video update on my thoughts, experiences of consensus. Checking out the Civic beer machine was awesome. I did get a chance to meet with Igor from POA Network. Now, if you remember me speaking about POA network before, in a nutshell, it creates ICOs. So you can create your own ICO in there, utilize MetaMask, all that other jazz, and then make it, insert all the variables, date, times, coins, tokens, etc. The price, and then if you need to make any changes, utilize that, make any changes like later on. They did come out with a bridge tool, or a token converter tool rather, which I did go ahead and look at it. I haven't tested it out yet, so I can't really speak on his behalf. But for the most part, from the token creation and the ICO creation phase, it has worked absolutely great. A living example of that is Zosting.net. You can kind of go there and install MetaMask, and see the ICO. It's live. It's going. And it's over on the 25th. But the product works great. It does what it's supposed to do. The community's been there. The support team's been there. Any questions that I've had, I might have had to wait 24 hours, but, hey, at least they responded. They could do a little bit better on the response time, considering, one technical, letter, implemented or inserted somewhere can delay you for like 2 days. That's not kind of like the way to do it, but, this is technology and this is just the way that it works. So, that's understandable. It is kind of like, but, the response time could be a little bit better. But you can check them out on GitHub, and check out the community there. And dude's name is Vic. More than happy to help. But other than that, I did finally get my Bitcoin T-shirt, my Bitcoin polo shirt, which was awesome. So I plan on rocking that out this summer sometime. And until people start just randomly walking up and asking me about Bitcoin, then that's just gonna annoy the heck out of me. Well, you see, there's currency, then there's digital currency. But anyway, no, I'm joking. Ask me whatever you guys want. If you guys have known me for a while, I'm more than willing to help. But anyhow, so those are my two satoshis on consensus and everything that occurred there. Like I said, at the end of the day, just the experience was a lot better. There was a lot more people, a lot more Lambos that were parked outside, a lot more protesters. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I learned a lot. I took home a lot, and now it's now it's just a waiting game. But anyhow, I am working on a few other ICOs, a few other tokens, phantom tokens. If you guys remember, hydrogen went up about 600-700% before it finally went back. I actually ended up cashing out on hydrogen twice. First time I did it when it was at about 300%, then it went up to about 650%, then I cashed out some more. And now I have my original investment in there, which is like, okay, cool. And I really didn't get much. I mean, considering how cheap these things were at the time when I got them, they were like 0.001. Less than a penny, 1/10 of a penny. So for 1 penny, I was getting 10 of them. I mean, you do the math. So I mean, I did get a significant chunk of these guys, which of course definitely did take some of the backlash from the decline in the market cap. But hey, it is what it is. And of course, Pillar, their wallet's gonna be coming out. It's in July. I did finally get some of my questions answered. Some of them were not so elaborately presented, considering the amount of wine that I had that night. But David was patient, David was patient. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. And it was great meeting the team. I'm still aboard, still holding, still maintaining. Make sure you guys kick some ass for me out there. So, And of course, it was kind of cool talking to some of like the community members that were also, some of these guys got in at the all time high, and now they're looking at like their investments, and their all time high was at about $1.80, and now you're looking at pillar they're about 18 cents, 20, 25, 30 cents. So I mean, you kind of see what it does to these guys is like like what it does to like individuals, like like psychologically too. So I try to help out on that front. Hey, I like I only cashed out my original investment. I still maintain everything else. It's still there. So your money is with me now. So I kind of had to definitely elaborate on that a little bit. But like I said, no complaints, long hold. Same thing with OMG, all these other tokens that I've held. Hydrogen, like I said, yeah, I pulled out my profits, but the remainder of it is in there, is going to do great. I think so. Civic, I definitely think is an underpriced token at the moment. So looking at their app and the utilization of, and all that other good stuff, definitely underpriced. But at the moment, the entire market cap is kind of shitty. When do I expect it to rise? I don't know. I expect it to decline some more before we finally have that rise again. So with that, the only thing that we can do is just remain patient. If this is a prime buying opportunity for some of these altcoins that are less than a penny. So if you guys are looking at some of these some of these altcoins, or if you have been in some of these altcoin games, you've seen some of these gains, and is that it can happen that fast. Other than that, like I said, I wanted to create a short video. I've already occupied about 17 minutes of your time. Until the next one, take it easy. I'll got some more coming up for you.